In terms of high-grade land, this obviously is high-quality, good-quality land, recognised from the government as such, and it's important that for the future we maintain that for future generations. And although there are ways of recovering that, we have some serious concerns how that can be done for the future.
So how does this all square with Oxfordshire County Council's own policies?
Policy G2. All development should be of a scale and type appropriate to the site and its surroundings and not cause harm to the character and amenities of the area. Policy EN4. Proposals will contribute to the protection, maintenance and enhancement of Oxfordshire's landscape character and in particular the natural beauty of areas of outstanding natural beauty to reflect their national importance. Development will only be permitted if it does not unacceptably damage the local landscape. Policy EN3. Development of the best and most versatile agricultural land will not be permitted unless there is an overriding need. Policy A3. The character and environment of the River Thames and its immediate valley will be protected and, where appropriate, enhanced.
This stretch of the busy A4074 already carries large volumes of traffic. Here at Shillingford, guidebooks to the area warn visitors to take particular care crossing a stretch of road described as dangerous. Yet it's this road which will be expected to carry hundreds of additional heavy vehicles each day, taking sand and gravel west to Didcot or north to Oxford. And it's not just the heavy vehicles. Extraction sites can generate significant extra site traffic in the form of cars and vans with which the narrow winding roads of villages such as Benson would be unable to cope. Despite the weight restrictions on other roads in the area and agreements with hauliers, experience shows that heavy goods vehicles still use roads such as the A329. In addition, unlike other gravel areas within the county, the Stadhampton to Benson area is not close to alternative transport sites such as rail links. Let's just take a look at how this sits with the council's own policies.
Policy T8. Proposals for development should be permitted only if they provide adequate access and mitigation of adverse transport impacts. Policy T4. The carriage of freight by rail rather than road will be encouraged.
There's one overriding feature of this area which places it into a world league: archaeology. Quite simply, this section of the Middle Thames Valley is, as one leading archaeologist described it, without comparison in the whole of northwest Europe for the richness of its archaeological record. So what makes this area so special? 5,000 years ago, the area between Dorchester and Stadhampton, and between Dorchester and Benson, was a landscape alive with religious and domestic activity on a scale only seen in the UK in the area around Avebury and Stonehenge, World Heritage Sites. It's a unique prehistoric landscape of international importance, with a number of areas designated as scheduled ancient monuments to be preserved. But the record doesn't stop 5,000 years ago.
We have evidence of continuous occupation in this whole area of the Thames Valley. To the north of Dorchester there was a huge ritual complex including henge, long barrows and a cursus. There are Iron Age hill forts, Iron Age settlements. We have the Roman town of Dorchester just over the way. We have Saxon settlements. It is a very unique landscape. The whole point about excavation is that it's destruction. Once you've excavated something, it's gone forever, and we feel very strongly that this part of our heritage should be left for future generations.
The importance of this area was recognised too in 2003 by Transco. Their pipeline across part of this region took an expensive detour just to miss the archaeology the council now wishes to destroy. So what does the council have to say about our archaeological heritage?
Policy EN6. There will be a presumption in favour of physically preserving nationally and internationally important archaeological remains, whether scheduled or not, and their settings.
The area also lies in the safeguarding zone around RAF Benson. That's the area in which potential hazards, such as bird strike, need to be avoided or minimized. There's no realistic chance of filling the pits left after extraction and returning the area to farming. Allowing the water table to fill them as lakes will attract birds and increase the risk of bird strike. And water, or the compromise of marshland, is inappropriate to the landscape of the area. So is this another of its policies the Council will not be able to fulfil?
Policy M1. Mineral working will not be permitted unless there are satisfactory provisions for the land to be progressively restored to an acceptable use that is appropriate to its location.
So why does Oxfordshire County Council think this is an area ripe for gravel extraction?
It appears that the authority have made what is an arbitrary decision to identify an area for future sand and gravel extraction. In the first instance, we must question the need for the levels of extraction that they have suggested are required. And on the next level, we must then question the appropriateness of identifying what is a new area, a largely untouched area for previous sand and gravel working, and one which, by all accounts and the work that we have done, is filled with constraints, and very significant constraints, relating to issues such as archaeology, bird strike, the water table, transportation, and the high value of the landscape.
We all recognise that sand and gravel are needed for today's building and construction projects, but in an area such as the Middle Thames Valley, extraction makes no sense. Heavily constrained by archaeology, by an inadequate transport network, and by a landscape of great value, the Stadhampton-Benson area is just not the right place for minerals extraction. The case for a new sand and gravel area remains unproved. The threat to this area by Oxfordshire County Council should now be removed.